Ong Bak 2 features a cast led by the immensely talented Tony Jaa, whose real name is Panamiram. Tony Jaa had already made a significant mark in the world of martial arts cinema before this film, especially due to the original Ong Bak released in 2003. His background in Muay Thai and his ability to perform intense, breathtaking stunts without the aid of CGI or wirework brought a fresh wave of authenticity and excitement to martial arts films globally. Before Ong Bak 2, Tony Jaa was known primarily for showcasing traditional Muay Thai in a raw, visually stunning way, which made him a household name among martial arts enthusiasts. With Ong Bak 2, Jaa took on a more complex role that required not only his physical prowess, but also his ability to embody a historical character. Tien, a warrior during the Ayutthaya era. This role was a significant step up in his career, allowing him to demonstrate more emotional depth and range beyond his established reputation as a stunt and fight choreography virtuoso. The film's ambitious narrative and period setting pushed Tony Jaa to expand his skills as an actor, and this helped cement his status as a versatile leading man in Asian action cinema. Alongside Tony Jaa, the film features Primarita Daud, who played the role of Muile, a character crucial to the storyline and Tien's journey. Though not as internationally known as Jaa, Primarita had a respectable career in Thai cinema and television. Her performance in Ong Bak 2 brought a more grounded emotional anchor to the film, balancing the intense action with subtle character work. Her role added dimension to the story and helped highlight the relational dynamics that underpin Tien's motivations and struggles. For Primarita, this film was an opportunity to be part of a major international production, and it exposed her work to a wider audience. The physical demands of the film's fight scenes and period setting challenged her to stretch her acting abilities as well. Kolumptakum Pornchang played Lord Raja, one of the antagonists. A veteran actor in Thai cinema, Kolumpol was known for his work in various dramatic and action roles in Thailand's film and television industries. His presence in Ong Bak 2 brought gravitas to the villainous side of the story, which required a menacing but nuanced portrayal of power and corruption. Kolumpo's experience enabled him to elevate what might have been a straightforward antagonist role into a more textured performance, showing the political and personal stakes involved in the conflict with Tien. Dan Chupong, another key player, took on the role of Tien, an important supporting character whose relationship with Tien reveals much about loyalty, betrayal, and redemption within the story. Chupong's background includes both martial arts and acting, making him well suited for the physically demanding and emotionally complex parts in Ong Bak 2. His contribution to the film is notable because he not only performed action scenes with precision, but also brought a compelling human element to his character. This role helped bolster his visibility and reputation in the industry. The casting choices in Ong Bak 2 reflected a blend of established actors and martial artists, all of whom brought different strengths to the production. Tony Jaa's ability to combine real martial arts skill with a growing acting ability was pivotal to the film's ambitions, as it aimed to blend high-octane action with a historical epic narrative. The supporting cast added layers of depth and complexity, making the characters feel grounded in their time and circumstances. Before Ong Bak 2, Tony Jaa's career was closely tied to showcasing Muay Thai as a raw, thrilling spectacle with films like Ong Bak and Tom Yong, also known as The Protector. These roles established him as an international action star. However, many critics and fans noted that while his physical skills were extraordinary, his acting was somewhat limited in those earlier works. With Ong Bak 2, the filmmakers clearly wanted to push Jaa further, casting him in a period drama that required not just martial arts expertise, but emotional expressiveness and stamina in a much longer narrative. The film's mixed reception around Jaa's acting capabilities did not diminish the impact it had on his career trajectory. It opened doors for more diverse roles and collaborations with international studios. After Ong Bak 2, Tony Jaa's career gradually shifted to include more international productions such as Hollywood films, where his stunt work and martial arts choreography were highly valued. His later projects demonstrated a maturing actor capable of balancing physical performance with more nuanced roles. For the supporting actors, being part of Ong Bak 2 meant involvement in a high-profile project that blended traditional Thai storytelling with contemporary filmmaking techniques. It was a chance to be part of a film that gained worldwide attention, especially among martial arts film fans, helping to elevate their careers outside of Thailand. Actors like Chalanpol and Dan Chupong gained exposure to new audiences and were recognized for their ability to handle complex roles within action narratives. In summary, the cast of Ong Bak 2 was carefully selected to merge the worlds of martial arts expertise and dramatic storytelling. Tony Jaa led the charge, stepping into a more demanding acting role that expanded his career horizons beyond the martial arts showcase he had been known for. The supporting cast brought important emotional and narrative weight, ensuring the story resonated both in terms of action and character depth. Collectively, their contributions helped position Ong Bak 2 as a notable entry in martial arts cinema that sought to blend spectacle with storytelling in a historic setting, influencing the careers of all involved in varied and meaningful ways. Ong Bak 2 occupies a distinct place in the cultural landscape of martial arts cinema and Thai popular culture with a significant ripple effect that extended well beyond its initial release. The film not only built on the international success of its predecessor, but also ventured into uncharted territory by embedding its action sequences within a rich historical and cultural narrative rooted in Thai history. This approach brought a renewed sense of pride and visibility to traditional Thai martial arts and cultural heritage, sparking a wave of interest and appreciation that resonated across multiple sectors of society and influenced pop culture both within Thailand and internationally. At its core, Ong Bak 2 served as a cultural ambassador, showcasing the ancient art of Muay Thai and the heritage of the Ayutthaya Kingdom, a period marked by political intrigue, warfare, and rich traditions. By framing the story around this historical era, the film connected modern audiences with Thailand's past in a visceral and visually compelling way. This bridging of history and modern action cinema helped elevate the perception of Thai martial arts from mere sport or entertainment to a profound cultural expression deeply entwined with national identity. For many viewers, especially Thai audiences, the film stirred feelings of nationalism and reverence for their heritage as it celebrated the courage, skill, and spiritual discipline of Muay Thai warriors. The cultural impact of Ong Bak 2 was particularly evident in how it influenced the portrayal of martial arts in global cinema. Unlike many Western action films that rely heavily on special effects and wire work, Ong Bak 2 emphasized authenticity with actors performing complex stunts and fight choreography grounded in traditional martial arts. This commitment to realism resonated with martial arts enthusiasts and filmmakers worldwide, inspiring a wave of productions that sought to capture the raw intensity and clear-throat elegance of real fighting techniques. The film's success helped popularize Muay Thai internationally, boosting interest in learning the discipline and sparking an increase in Muay Thai gyms and training centers outside Thailand, particularly in United States, Europe, and other parts of Asia. Beyond the martial arts community, the film's historical setting and epic storytelling style contributed to a broader cultural conversation about how Southeast Asian history is represented in cinema. Ong Bak 2 challenged the dominance of Western historical epics by presenting a distinctly Thai narrative that emphasized local traditions, values, and perspectives. This was particularly important in an era when Asian cinema was gaining more prominence on the world stage and audiences were increasingly seeking stories beyond the familiar Western-centric narratives. The film's visual and narrative style showcase the complexity and beauty of Thai history, offering a new lens through which global viewers could appreciate Southeast Asian culture. The cultural influence of Ong Bak 2 extended to fashion and physical fitness trends as well. The film's portrayal of ancient warriors clad in traditional garb sparked a revival of interest in historical costumes and accessories, influencing fashion designers who incorporated elements of Thai martial arts attire into modern clothing lines. Additionally, the physicality of the film's action sequences performed mostly by Tony Jaa and other martial artists inspired a surge in fitness regimes modeled on Muay Thai training. This trend aligned with a global rise in popularity of combat sports and mixed martial arts, positioning Ong Bak 2 as both a cultural artifact and a catalyst for lifestyle changes emphasizing strength, discipline, and agility. In popular culture, the film's impact manifested in numerous references across various media, action movies, television shows, and video games incorporated visual and thematic elements reminiscent of Ong Bak 2's choreography and historical aesthetic. The film's fight scenes, marked by their intense choreography and minimal reliance on digital effects, became iconic benchmarks for action film. These scenes were often cited or parodied in memes, especially among martial arts communities online, where clips of Tony Jaa's acrobatic feats circulated widely, inspiring countless fan edits and tribute videos. Politically and socially, Ong Bak 2 touched on themes of resistance against corruption and tyranny, resonating with audiences in Thailand and other countries experiencing political upheaval. The story's focus on a warrior fighting against oppressive forces struck a chord in times of social unrest, leading some to interpret the film as an allegory for broader struggles related to justice, freedom, and national sovereignty. While the film itself is primarily an action epic, its narrative echoes of honor, loyalty, and resistance found fertile ground in public discourse, contributing subtly to the ongoing dialogue about governance and social responsibility in Southeast Asia. Moreover, the film's dedication to traditional Thai martial arts helped solidify Muay Thai as a symbol of cultural pride on a global stage. It played a part in promoting Thailand's soft power, making the country more recognizable internationally, not only as a tourist destination, but as a cultural hub with a rich, storied past and vibrant contemporary art scene. This soft power boost helped Thailand attract more cultural exchanges, film productions, and tourism, benefiting the country economically and culturally. In summary, Ong Bak 2's cultural impact and historical significance are multifaceted and enduring. The film elevated Muay Thai and Thai history to new levels of international recognition, influenced global cinematic and fitness trends, and contributed to a broader appreciation of Southeast Asian heritage in popular culture. It also offered a potent narrative of resistance and identity that resonated with audiences far beyond its action-packed exterior. These elements combined to make Ong Bak not just an entertaining martial arts film, but a significant cultural touchstone that continues to inspire and influence diverse aspects of society today. The production of Ong Bak 2 was marked by ambition, dedication, and a series of unique challenges that shaped the final film into a groundbreaking martial arts epic. Behind the scenes, the making of the movie involved an intense combination of rigorous physical training, meticulous choreography, and careful attention to historical authenticity, all orchestrated under the direction of Tony Jaa and his longtime collaborator punter Riddikree. This process revealed not only the filmmaker's commitment to pushing the boundaries of action cinema, but also the complexities inherent in bringing a period martial arts story to life. One of the most notable aspects of the film's production was the extensive preparation the cast and crew underwent to ensure the authenticity and intensity of the action sequences. Tony Jaa, already famed for performing his own stunts, took this to another level by training intensively in traditional Muay Thai and other ancient martial arts styles pertinent to the film's historical setting. This preparation was not merely about perfecting fight choreography, but involved understanding the cultural and spiritual dimensions of these martial arts, which deeply influenced the physicality and philosophy behind the characters' movements. The training regimen was grueling and extended for months before filming began, which helped actors fully embody their roles as warriors from the Ayutthaya era. The decision to film many stunts without CGI or wire work, common in modern action films, presented significant challenges, but also defined the film's visual identity. Tony Jaa and the stunt team performed complex acrobatics, fight sequences, and high-impact physical feats in real time, often on difficult terrain and in demanding conditions. Injuries were frequent, and the production schedule was sometimes slowed due to the physical toll on performers. Despite these challenges, this commitment to realism created some of the most dynamic and visceral fight scenes in contemporary martial arts cinema. The raw physicality and palpable danger of these scenes stand as a testament to the dedication and skill of the actors and stunt coordinators. Filming locations also played a crucial role in shaping the atmosphere and authenticity of Ong Bak 2. The production team scouted various sites throughout Thailand to recreate the ancient cityscapes and rural environments of the Ayutthaya period. These locations were chosen not only for their visual appeal, but also for their historical relevance, lending credibility and immersive detail to the film setting. Ancient temples, dense jungles, and river banks featured prominently, providing natural backdrops that enhanced the film's epic scale and cultural texture. The logistical difficulties of shooting in remote and sometimes rugged terrain required innovative solutions from the crew, including transporting equipment and managing weather-related obstacles. Director and fight choreographer punter Riddikree's role was central to the film's production. His vision of combining traditional martial arts with cinematic storytelling demanded a close collaboration between the action team and the narrative crew. Punna's experience as a stuntman and director was invaluable in crafting sequences that were both thrilling and meaningful within the story. He pushed the boundaries of what could be achieved practically, often designing stunts that seemed impossible yet were executed flawlessly. His influence is evident in the film's balance between spectacle and story, ensuring the action scenes served to deepen character development rather than simply entertain. The makeup and costume departments also faced significant challenges in recreating the period look of the Ayutthaya era accurately. Research was extensive with designers drawing on historical texts, artifacts, and traditional Thai arts to construct costumes that reflected the social hierarchy, roles, and identities of characters. The warrior's armor, royal attire, and everyday garments were handcrafted, often with intricate details that reflected cultural symbolism. This attention to detail enhanced the film's immersive quality and helped actors connect more deeply to their characters' worlds. One particularly interesting behind-the-scenes anecdote involves the filming of the climactic temple fight scene, which took place over several weeks in a carefully reconstructed temple set. The scene required complex choreography involving multiple actors, stunt performers, and the use of practical effects like fire and collapsing structures. Coordination between departments was intense as safety had to be balanced with the desire for realism. On one occasion, a stuntman narrowly avoided serious injury during a fall sequence, underscoring the risks involved in the production. The dedication of the cast and crew in these moments exemplified the team's commitment to achieving a high standard of action film. The film's long runtime and episodic structure meant the shooting schedule was extended compared to typical martial arts films. This demanded stamina and focus from the entire team. Tony Jaa, as the lead actor, often had to maintain intense physical condition for months, filming scenes out of narrative order, but ensuring continuity in his performance and physicality. The extended shooting period allowed for the exploration of varied fight styles and narrative elements, enriching the film's texture, but also creating pressure on schedules and budgets. Technological limitations and budget constraints influenced some directorial choices. For example, the film avoided heavy reliance on CGI effects, not only as an artistic decision, but also due to financial considerations. This choice reinforced the authentic feel of the martial arts, but sometimes led to creative workarounds such as clever camera angles and practical stunt setups to convey the desired impact without digital enhancement. The collaboration between Tony Jaa and punner Ruthless both in front of and behind the camera was a defining factor of the film's production. Their shared vision of honoring traditional martial arts while innovating in cinematic techniques fostered a creative environment where the stunt team and actors pushed themselves to their limits. This partnership helped shape Ong Bak 2 into a landmark project that blended action and narrative more deeply than many previous martial arts films. In addition to the physical and creative challenges, the film's production also navigated cultural sensitivities. The portrayal of historical figures and events required respect and care to avoid misrepresentation. The filmmakers consulted historians and cultural experts to ensure an accurate and respectful depiction of the Ayutthaya era, which added another layer of complexity to the project. In conclusion, the behind-the-scenes story of Ong Bak 2 is one of passion, perseverance, and innovation. From intense physical training and authentic stunt work to meticulous set and costume design, the production team faced numerous hurdles, yet remained committed to delivering a film that was both a thrilling martial arts spectacle and a respectful homage to Thai culture and history. These efforts not only resulted in visually stunning action sequences, but also in a richly textured cinematic experience that elevated the genre and left a lasting impression on audiences and filmmakers alike. The narrative of Ong Bak 2 unfolds as a sweeping epic blending martial arts action with a historical drama set during the Ayutthaya period of Thailand. The film follows the journey of Tien, a young nobleman and skilled warrior whose life is shattered by tragedy and betrayal, prompting him to seek vengeance and justice. The story is structured in a way that intertwines personal transformation with political intrigue, allowing the viewer to experience Tien's growth from a privileged child to a hardened fighter and ultimately a hero seeking redemption. The film opens with a peaceful and idyllic portrayal of Tien's childhood, establishing his royal lineage and the close relationship he shares with his father, the king. This beginning provides a stark contrast to the turmoil that follows, setting the stage for the film's exploration of themes such as loss, identity, and power. The initial sequences focus on Tien's training under his father's trusted warrior and his exposure to the spiritual and physical disciplines that will define his character. These opening scenes serve as a foundation, introducing the audience to the world of Ayutthaya and the importance of Muay Thai as both a martial art and a cultural practice. The narrative then takes a darker turn with a violent coup led by Lord Raja, a powerful and corrupt nobleman who murders Tien's father and usurps the throne. This pivotal moment acts as the inciting incident that propels Tien into exile and shapes his quest for justice. The sudden loss of family and status is a classic narrative catalyst, but Ong Bak 2 frames this in a deeply personal way, allowing the audience to feel the weight of Tien's grief and the drive for vengeance that motivates his actions throughout the film. Following the coup, Tien is taken captive by slave traders and sold to a band of traveling performers. This part of the story introduces a change of pace as Tien must learn to survive in harsh conditions far from the comforts of royalty. The narrative here incorporates elements of a coming-of-age story, highlighting Tien's resilience and adaptability. His training intensifies as he hones his martial arts skills, transforming from a naive boy into a formidable fighter. The film emphasizes discipline, spiritual growth, and mastery of various fighting techniques, which are visually represented through carefully choreographed fight sequences and training montages. The film's pacing during this middle section is deliberate, allowing time for Tien's internal transformation and for the audience to absorb the cultural and philosophical underpinnings of the martial arts. The shift from royal intrigue to survival and self-mastery gives the film a layered structure, blending action with character development. The tension builds steadily as Tien's skills improve, and he begins to plot his return to reclaim his birthright and avenge his family. As Tien escapes captivity, the narrative moves toward a series of escalating confrontations with Rajas and his forces. These sequences serve as turning points in the plot. each battle revealing more about Ting's character and resolve. The choreography of the fights grows increasingly complex and intense, reflecting Ting's growing mastery and determination. These moments are carefully integrated into the storyline, reinforcing the themes of justice and honor while maintaining momentum toward the climax. The film's climax is a dramatic and cathartic confrontation between Tien and Lord Rajasena. This showdown is not just a physical battle, but also a symbolic clash between good and evil, tradition and corruption. The narrative structure carefully builds to this moment using flashbacks and earlier character interactions to deepen the emotional stakes. The fight scene itself is prolonged and meticulously choreographed, emphasizing both the brutality and grace of Muay Thai. It serves as the emotional and narrative apex of the film, resolving Ting's quest and symbolizing the restoration of order and justice. Throughout the film, Ong Bak too employs a mostly linear narrative, but incorporates occasional flashbacks that provide background information and emotional context. These flashbacks help to clarify motivations and relationships, particularly Ting's bond with his family and mentors. The use of flashbacks also enriches the story's mythic quality, reinforcing the film's historical setting and the spiritual dimensions of Ting's journey. The film balances multiple narrative threads, including Ting's personal story, the political intrigue surrounding the throne and the broader cultural context of the Ayutthaya kingdom. This multifaceted approach creates a rich tapestry that goes beyond typical martial arts films, adding depth and complexity. The pacing is generally steady, allowing moments of quiet reflection and character interaction to punctuate the intense action sequences. Key plot twists and turning points are woven throughout the story, keeping the audience engaged. For example, the revelation of betrayal within Ting's inner circle adds tension and complexity to the narrative. These twists are handled with subtlety, avoiding melodrama while enhancing the stakes and character motivations. The narrative structure also employs symbolic elements such as the recurring presence of traditional Thai rituals and the significance of certain martial arts techniques that carry spiritual meaning. These narrative choices enrich the story, connecting the physical journey of the protagonist with deeper cultural and philosophical themes. In conclusion, the plot and narrative structure of Ong Bak 2 combine a classic revenge story with a richly detailed historical backdrop. The film's pacing balances action with character development, allowing Ting's transformation to unfold naturally. The layered storytelling combined with dramatic turning points and a powerful climax creates a compelling cinematic experience that transcends the typical martial arts genre. The narrative's integration of cultural elements and spiritual themes adds a unique depth, making Ong Bak 2 not only an action film, but also a reflection on identity, honor, and redemption. Ong Bak 2 is rich with themes and symbolism that elevate the film beyond a mere martial arts spectacle, imbuing it with layers of meaning that resonate on cultural, spiritual, and personal levels. While the movie is driven by thrilling action sequences and visceral combat, it also explores profound ideas about identity, power, honor, and redemption, making it a story that engages both the mind and the heart. One of the most prominent themes in Ong Bak 2 is the exploration of identity, particularly the struggle between one's origins and the person one chooses to become. Ting's journey is a quintessential tale of self-discovery and transformation. Born into nobility, but thrust into hardship and exile, Tien must reconcile his royal heritage with the brutal realities of survival and warfare. This theme is reflected in his evolving mastery of martial arts, which is not merely a physical skill, but a path to understanding his true self. Tien's identity is thus symbolic of the broader human quest to find purpose and authenticity amid chaos and adversity. Closely related to identity is the theme of power and its use or misuse. The film contrasts the noble use of power for protection and justice with its corrupt and oppressive exercise by figures like Lord Rajasena. This dichotomy is central to the narrative, framing Tien's quest for vengeance as a righteous effort to restore balance and moral order. The corruption and betrayal that permeate the political landscape of the Ayutthaya kingdom serve as a backdrop for Tien's personal struggle, highlighting the consequences of unchecked ambition and the erosion of ethical leadership. Honor and loyalty are other key themes woven throughout the film. Tien's unwavering commitment to avenging his family and restoring his kingdom reflects the traditional values of loyalty to one's kin and nation. The film portrays these virtues not only as personal qualities but as pillars of societal cohesion. The warrior's code, the respect for elders and mentors and the spiritual rituals surrounding combat emphasize the deep connection between personal honor and community responsibility. This theme resonates strongly within the context of Thai culture where respect and duty are highly esteemed. Redemption is a subtle but powerful theme in Ong Bak 2. Tien's path is one of atonement, not only for his family, but also for his own mistakes and vulnerabilities. The narrative suggests that true strength comes not only from physical prowess, but from the ability to forgive, learn, and grow. This theme is underscored by the film's spiritual elements, where martial arts are depicted as a discipline that harmonizes body, mind, and spirit. Tien's journey embodies this holistic approach to redemption as he evolves from a vengeful youth into a wise and balanced warrior. The film also explores the theme of spirituality, particularly through the depiction of traditional Thai beliefs and practices. Rituals, meditation, and respect for ancestral spirits are integral to the characters' lives, influencing their motivations and actions. The spiritual dimension of Muay Thai, as portrayed in the film, extends beyond combat to encompass ethical conduct and mental discipline. This spiritual symbolism enriches the narrative, offering a lens through which viewers can understand the deeper significance of the characters' struggles. Visually and narratively, Ong Bak 2 employs a variety of symbols that reinforce its themes. The recurring image of the tiger, for example, symbolizes strength, courage, and the primal power that Tien must harness. The tiger motif is associated with Tien's identity as a warrior and his connection to the natural and spiritual world. This symbolism ties into the larger cultural reverence for animals in Thai mythology, where creatures often embody virtues or cosmic forces. Another significant symbol is the temple, which appears repeatedly throughout the film as a site of refuge, training, and spiritual awakening. The temple represents a sacred space where Tien reconnects with his heritage and gains clarity about his mission. It serves as a metaphor for inner sanctity and the pursuit of enlightenment amid worldly chaos. The temple's architecture and ritual practices provide a rich visual language that reinforces the film's cultural authenticity and thematic depth. Weapons, particularly traditional Thai swords and staffs, also carry symbolic weight. They are not mere tools of combat, but extensions of the warrior's spirit and discipline. The mastery of these weapons reflects Tien's growth and his alignment with the values of honor and respect. Their use in battle scenes is choreographed to emphasize grace, precision, and ritualistic significance rather than gratuitous violence. The film's use of color and costume design further underscores its thematic concerns. Earthy tones and natural materials dominate the palette, grounding the story in a historical and cultural reality. The contrast between the rich, ornate costumes of the nobility and the simpler attire of commoners and slaves highlights social divisions and power dynamics. This visual symbolism complements the narrative's exploration of class, oppression, and resistance. The theme of betrayal is also intricately woven into the storyline, serving as a catalyst for Tien's transformation and quest for justice. Betrayal is portrayed not only as a personal wound, but as a symptom of broader moral decay within the ruling class. This theme adds emotional complexity to the plot as characters navigate shifting alliances and hidden agendas. The experience of betrayal forces Tien to confront harsh truths about trust, loyalty, and the cost of vengeance. In addition to these overarching themes, Ong Bak 2 touches on the tension between tradition and change. Tien's journey reflects the struggle to uphold cultural heritage while adapting to new circumstances and challenges. This tension is embodied in the martial arts themselves, which are presented as ancient practices that remain relevant and powerful in a changing world. The film suggests that tradition, when understood deeply, can be a source of strength rather than limitation. Finally, the film's narrative structure and visual storytelling often invoke mythic and archetypal elements, casting Tien as a hero on a classic quest. This archetypal framework taps into universal themes of heroism, sacrifice, and the triumph of good over evil. Tien's trials and victories resonate with the timeless human experience of overcoming adversity, and finding one's place in the world. In summary, Ong Bak 2 is a film that operates on multiple thematic levels using symbolism and cultural motifs to deepen its impact. Its exploration of identity, power, honor, redemption, and spirituality transforms what might have been a straightforward action movie into a richly layered narrative. The film's symbols, ranging from the tiger and the temple to weapons and costume, work in concert to reinforce these themes, creating a cohesive and resonant cinematic experience that speaks to both Thai cultural heritage and universal human concerns. The visual style and cinematography of Ong Bak 2 stand as a vital component of its storytelling, blending raw, kinetic energy with the grandeur of historical epic imagery. The film's aesthetic choices create a compelling atmosphere that immerses viewers in the world of ancient Thailand while also emphasizing the intensity and precision of its martial arts sequences. This dual focus between the sweeping historical backdrop and the immediate physicality of combat forms the foundation of the film's distinctive visual identity. One of the most striking aspects of Ong Bak 2's cinematography is its use of natural lighting and earthy color palettes which ground the film in a sense of realism and authenticity. The filmmakers favored warm muted tones, browns, greens, and golds that reflect the rural landscapes, temple ruins, and traditional architecture of the Ayutthaya period. These color choices not only evoke the historical setting, but also symbolize the connection between the characters and their environment. The muted palette contrasts sharply with the bursts of blood and sweat during fight scenes, intensifying the physicality and stakes of the combat. The framing and composition throughout the film emphasize both the epic scale of the story and the intimate struggles of the characters. Wide shots showcase the sprawling landscapes and elaborate sets, allowing the audience to appreciate the historical grandeur and the cultural richness of the setting. These sweeping vistas often serve as a backdrop to solitary figures, most notably Tien, highlighting his isolation and resolve amid larger forces at play. In contrast, tight close UPS capture the intensity of the fighter's expressions, sweat and strain, emphasizing the human cost of battle and the emotional depth beneath the physical action. Camera movement is dynamic and purposeful, particularly during fight sequences. Unlike the fast-cut, shaky cam style common in many contemporary action films, Ong Bak 2 employs longer takes and fluid tracking shots that follow the fighters with clarity and precision. This technique showcases the choreography and the actor's martial arts skills, allowing the audience to fully appreciate the complexity and beauty of each movement. The camera often circles the combatants, capturing attacks and counters from multiple angles without sacrificing coherence, which enhances the visceral impact of the fights. One notable technique is the use of slow-motion sequences to highlight key moments within the battles. These moments are carefully timed to emphasize critical strikes, acrobatic flips, or the expression of pain and determination on the fighters' faces. Rather than slowing the entire fight, these brief slow-motion shots punctuate the action, providing a rhythmic contrast that heightens dramatic tension. This method also adds a cinematic poetry to the violence, transforming combat into an almost poetic display of strength and skill. The film's use of practical effects and minimal CGI contributes significantly to the visual authenticity. The physicality of the stunts combined with natural elements such as dust, rain, and fire creates a tactile environment that feels immediate and real. The use of environmental effects during fights like debris flying, leaves swirling, or water splashing serves not only as spectacle, but also as an extension of the character's energy and the impact of their movements. These effects deepen the immersion and amplify the sense of danger and urgency. Lighting plays a crucial role in shaping the mood and atmosphere of various scenes. Daylight scenes often set in open fields or temple courtyards are bright and warm, reflecting hope, learning, and growth, especially during Tien's training and moments of reflection. Conversely, night scenes and indoor shots employ chiaroscuro lighting with strong contrasts between light and shadow that underscore themes of danger, secrecy, and moral ambiguity. This interplay of light and darkness visually reinforces the narrative's tension between good and evil. The set design and locations are integral to the visual storytelling, and the cinematography capitalizes on these elements to evoke the ancient world. The decaying ruins, ornate temple interiors, and bustling village scenes provide textured environments that feel lived in and historically resonant. The camera lingers on details such as carved stone reliefs, traditional weapons, and period-accurate costumes, reinforcing the cultural authenticity and aesthetic richness of the film. These details create a layered visual experience that rewards attentive viewers. The film's visual motifs often revolve around circular shapes and repetitive patterns symbolizing cycles of violence, spiritual balance, and destiny. For instance, many fight scenes take place within circular courtyards or surrounded by circular architectural elements, suggesting the inescapable cycles of conflict and karma. These visual patterns subtly underscore the narrative's themes and add depth to the composition. Color symbolism is also present in costume choices where the protagonist's more subdued and earth-toned clothing contrasts with the brighter, more ostentatious attire of antagonists and nobility. This contrast visually delineates moral and social distinctions, emphasizing humility and integrity against corruption and decadence. The cinematography accentuates these contrasts through lighting and framing, reinforcing the narrative's moral undercurrents. The editing rhythm aligns closely with the visual style, with the pacing of cuts often dictated by the choreography's natural flow rather than arbitrary quick cuts. This editorial choice allows the audience to appreciate the continuity and skill involved in each fight, enhancing the overall viewing experience. The smooth flow of movement and camera work creates a seamless visual narrative that merges storytelling and spectacle. In several scenes, the cinematography embraces a more painterly aesthetic with compositions reminiscent of classical Thai art and traditional landscape paintings. These moments serve as visual pauses in the film where the action slows to highlight the beauty of the setting or the solemnity of a ritual. This blending of cinematic and cultural artistry adds a layer of sophistication and visual poetry to the film. In conclusion, the visual style and cinematography of Ong Bak 2 play a vital role in conveying the film's narrative and thematic ambitions. The combination of natural lighting, deliberate color palettes, dynamic camera movement, and practical effects creates a visually immersive experience that grounds the story in historical authenticity while celebrating the artistry of martial arts. Through careful framing, rhythm, and symbolic use of imagery, the film achieves a balance between epic spectacle and intimate human drama, making its visuals not just a backdrop, but an integral part of its storytelling power. The soundtrack and sound design of Ong Bak 2 play a crucial role in shaping the film's atmosphere, enhancing its emotional impact and intensifying the visceral experience of its martial arts sequences. The audio elements are carefully crafted to complement the visuals, creating a rich auditory landscape that immerses the viewer in the historical setting while amplifying the energy and drama of the story. Musically, Ong Bak 2 blends traditional Thai instruments and motifs with a contemporary cinematic score, creating a fusion that reflects the film's dual nature as both a historical epic and a modern action spectacle. The composer employs indigenous instruments such as the raines, a type of xylophone, kongwang, a circle of tune gongs, and various percussion elements to evoke the cultural ambiences of the Ayutthaya period. These sounds provide an authentic auditory texture that grounds the narrative in its Thai roots and gives the score a distinctive identity. The film's musical themes are varied, shifting from serene and meditative passages during scenes of training and reflection to intense rhythmic compositions that underscore the tension and urgency of combat. During fight sequences, the music often incorporates rapid percussion and sharp metallic sounds that mirror the clashing of weapons and the impact of blows. This approach not only heightens the excitement, but also emphasizes the physicality and precision required in martial arts. The score's dynamics, moving from quiet, suspenseful moments to explosive crescendos, mirror the pacing of the narrative and the emotional arcs of the characters. In quieter, more introspective scenes, the soundtrack utilizes slow, melodic lines played on traditional string instruments, evoking a sense of spirituality and cultural heritage. These musical interludes deepen the emotional resonance of Ting's personal journey, reflecting themes of identity, loss, and redemption. The interplay between music and silence in these moments allows the audience to absorb the weight of the story and the inner conflicts of the characters. The sound design complements the music by layering environmental sounds that enhance the film's realism and immerse the viewer in the ancient world. The ambient noises of nature, rustling leaves, flowing water, bird calls are prominent in outdoor scenes, creating a vivid sense of place. In contrast, urban settings like marketplaces or palace interiors feature a complex soundscape of human activity, adding texture and depth to the environment. This careful attention to ambient sound helps to transport the audience into the world of Ayutthaya and makes the setting feel alive and tangible. Fight scenes are particularly notable for their intricate sound design. The sounds of punches, kicks, and weapon strikes are recorded with clarity and enhanced to emphasize their impact. The sharp crack of bones, the swish of limbs slicing through the air, and the grunt of exertion from fighters are all carefully balanced to create a rhythmic and immersive auditory experience. These sounds are not exaggerated, but designed to feel authentic, aligning with the film's overall emphasis on realism in martial arts depiction. Practical sound effects are also used to great effect in scenes involving environmental hazards such as collapsing buildings, fire, and water, adding layers of tension and danger. For example, during the climactic temple fight, the creaking of wooden beams, the crackling of flames, and the splash of water all contribute to a sensory-rich scene that heightens suspense and excitement. These sound elements work in concert with the visual effects to make the action more tangible and immediate. Dialogue sound mixing in Ong Bak 2 is carefully managed to ensure clarity even during the most intense scenes. The actors' voices remain audible without overpowering the intricate soundscape of battle and environment. This balance maintains narrative coherence while preserving the immersive quality of the audio. The use of traditional Thai language and accents further grounds the film culturally, enhancing its authenticity. Another noteworthy aspect of the film's audio design is the use of silence as a dramatic tool. Strategic moments of quiet, whether before a fight or during moments of personal reflection, serve to build tension and focus the viewer's attention on subtle visual cues or character expressions. This use of silence contrasts sharply with the otherwise dynamic soundscape, making action sequences feel more impactful when they erupt from these quieter moments. The film soundtrack also incorporates traditional chanting and spiritual sounds during ritual scenes, emphasizing the connection between martial arts and spirituality. These chants are not merely background, but integral to the narrative, underscoring the sacred nature of the characters' discipline and their respect for ancestral traditions. This auditory symbolism reinforces the themes of honor, discipline, and redemption. In summary, the soundtrack and sound design of Ong Bak 2 are vital components that enrich the film's storytelling. The fusion of traditional Thai musical elements with cinematic scoring creates an evocative and culturally resonant soundscape. Detailed environmental sounds and authentic fight effects immerse viewers in the world of Ayutthaya, while the careful balance of dialogue and strategic use of silence enhance emotional and narrative clarity. Together, these audio elements work seamlessly with the visuals to deliver a powerful and immersive cinematic experience that honors both the martial arts tradition and the historical context of the story. Upon its release, Ong Bak 2 received a mixed yet largely respectful reception from both critics and audiences, with many praising its ambitious scope, intense martial arts choreography, and cultural authenticity, while others critiqued certain aspects such as its narrative complexity and pacing. The film's reception reveals the challenges and expectations that come with following up a highly successful predecessor, as well as the risks involved in blending a traditional martial arts film with historical epic storytelling. Critics generally acknowledged Ong Bak 2 as a significant step forward in the martial arts genre, lauding the film's dedication to authentic stunt work and practical effects. The choreography, largely overseen and performed by Tony Jaa, was widely praised for its creativity, precision, and visceral impact. Many reviewers highlighted the absence of heavy CGI or wire-fu, emphasizing how this grounded the combat scenes in physical reality and heightened their emotional resonance. This authenticity helped to distinguish Ong Bak 2 from other martial arts films of its time, which often relied on digital enhancements that some felt detracted from the art of fight choreography. The film's visual style and cinematography also received positive attention, with commentators noting the lush historical settings and carefully composed shots that added depth and grandeur to the story. The effort to recreate the Ayutthaya period and incorporate traditional Thai culture was seen as a bold and valuable endeavor, enhancing the film's appeal beyond martial arts enthusiasts to those interested in historical dramas. Costume and set design were frequently cited as strengths, contributing to the immersive atmosphere. However, some critics expressed reservations about the film's narrative complexity and pacing. Compared to the straightforward and fast-paced plot of the original Ong Bak, this sequel ventured into a more elaborate storyline involving political intrigue, betrayal, and spiritual themes. While this added depth, some reviewers felt the story became convoluted or overly long, detracting from the immediacy and excitement of the action. The film's episodic structure and slower middle sections were noted as potential barriers to audience engagement, especially for viewers expecting a non-stop action experience. Character development, while more pronounced than in the first film, received mixed responses. Some appreciated the effort to provide Tien with a richer backstory and emotional arc, enhancing the stakes of his journey. Others felt the characters remained somewhat archetypal and that the dialogue occasionally lacked subtlety. Despite this, Tony Jaa's performance was widely commended for its physicality and dedication, even if his acting range was sometimes viewed as limited. Audience reactions mirrored this range of opinions. Many fans of the original celebrated Ong Bak 2 for expanding the franchise's scope and offering spectacular fight scenes. The film's cultural elements and historical setting resonated particularly strongly with Thai audiences who saw it as a proud representation of their heritage. International audiences who appreciated martial arts films also admired the technical achievements and fight choreography. At the same time, some viewers found the film's length and slower narrative pace challenging. The transition from the more contemporary gritty style of the first Ong Bak to a stylized historical epic required an adjustment that not all fans embraced immediately. Additionally, the complexity of the political subplot and the heavier emphasis on mythology and spirituality divided opinions, with some welcoming the depth and others perceiving it as a distraction from the action. Controversies around the film were relatively limited but centered on expectations and comparisons to the original. Some critics and fans debated whether the film's attempt to marry historical drama with martial arts action diluted the impact of both genres. There were also discussions regarding the film's use of violence and how it balanced spectacle with narrative purpose. However, these debates largely contributed to the film's notoriety and did not significantly harm its reputation. In terms of awards and formal recognition, Ong Bak 2 did not achieve widespread international accolades, but was acknowledged in several Asian film festivals and martial arts circles for its stunt work and choreography. Its influence was more evident in the growing respect it garnered among practitioners and fans of martial arts cinema rather than mainstream award ceremonies. The film helped solidify Tony Jaa's status as a leading figure in martial arts entertainment and boosted the profile of Thai cinema globally. Box office performance reflected the mixed critical reception. While the film performed well domestically in Thailand and found a niche international audience, it did not achieve blockbuster status comparable to the original Ong Bak. Factors such as the more complex narrative and slower pacing likely affected its mass appeal. Nonetheless, the film's commercial success was sufficient to warrant further sequels and maintain the franchise's momentum. Overall, the reception of Ong Bak 2 highlights the complexities of evolving a martial arts franchise into something more ambitious and culturally resonant. The film was praised for its technical achievements, authentic action, and visual grandeur, but faced criticism regarding its narrative and pacing choices. These varied responses underscore the challenge of balancing spectacle with storytelling, particularly within a genre that traditionally prioritizes physical action. In summary, Ong Bak 2 occupies a respected yet contested place in martial arts cinema. It expanded the boundaries of the genre by integrating historical and spiritual themes while delivering some of the most impressive fight choreography of its era. Although it did not achieve universal acclaim, the film's boldness and artistry earned it a lasting legacy and contributed significantly to the international appreciation of Thai martial arts films. Ong Bak 2 has left a lasting legacy and exerted considerable influence both within the martial arts film genre and the broader landscape of international cinema. Though it faced mixed critical reception upon release, the film's ambitious blend of traditional martial arts, historical storytelling, and authentic stunt work positioned it as a groundbreaking effort that inspired filmmakers, practitioners, and audiences around the world. Its legacy is visible not only in subsequent films, but also in popular culture, martial arts training, and the global perception of Thai cinema. One of the most significant legacies of Ong Bak 2 is its role in elevating the status of Muay Thai as a martial art and cultural symbol on the world stage. Before the Ong Bak series, Muay Thai was primarily known within Southeast Asia with limited recognition internationally. Ong Bak 2 with its historical context and authentic depiction of Muay Thai techniques helped introduce the art form to a broader audience, inspiring a surge of interest globally. Martial arts schools worldwide began incorporating Muay Thai into their curriculums, and many practitioners cited the film as a key influence in their decision to study this discipline. This boost to Muay Thai's international profile has had lasting economic and cultural effects, with Thailand becoming a hub for martial arts tourism and cultural exchange. The film's influence on the choreography and production of martial arts cinema is equally profound. Ong Bak 2 demonstrated that fight scenes could be crafted with an emphasis on realism, physicality, and artistic expression without relying heavily on CGI or wirework. This approach reinvigorated a segment of action filmmaking that values genuine stunt performance and practical effects. Filmmakers and stunt coordinators worldwide have drawn inspiration from the movie's choreography, incorporating similar principles of fluid movement, naturalistic combat, and intricate fight design. The film helped spark a renaissance of interest in authentic martial arts cinema, encouraging a return to physical stunt work in an industry increasingly dominated by digital effects. The impact of Ong Bak 2 also extends into film narrative and genre blending. Its integration of a historical epic narrative with martial arts action broadened the scope of what martial arts films could achieve thematically and artistically. This fusion inspired subsequent productions to explore more complex stories set in culturally rich historical contexts. Films following in its footsteps have ventured beyond simple revenge plots to examine issues of honor, identity, and societal conflict, adding narrative depth to the genre. By proving that martial arts films could be serious historical dramas as well as thrilling action experiences, Ong Bak 2 expanded the creative possibilities for filmmakers in the genre. The film's legacy is also visible in the continued career trajectory of Tony Jaa, who emerged as one of the most prominent martial arts stars of his generation. Ong Bak 2 solidified his reputation not only as a skilled fighter but as a filmmaker committed to pushing the boundaries of action cinema. The success and influence of the film provided a platform for Jaa to pursue further projects that showcase martial arts with authenticity and cinematic flair. His subsequent work, including later sequels and collaborations, carries the imprint of the style and philosophy established in Ong Bak 2, ensuring the film's lasting influence through his ongoing career. Merchandising and popular culture surrounding the Ong Bak franchise have also benefited from Ong Bak 2's legacy. The film contributed to a growing fan base that supports various related products such as apparel, training equipment, and video games inspired by the series. This merchandising helps sustain interest in Muay Thai and Thai culture internationally, creating a feedback loop that reinforces the film's cultural impact. The iconic imagery from Ong Bak 2, such as Tony Jaa's signature fighting poses and traditional costumes, has become emblematic of authentic martial arts cinema and is frequently referenced in fan art, memes, and online communities dedicated to martial arts and action films. Beyond the martial arts and film industries, Ong Bak 2 has influenced the representation of Southeast Asian history and culture in media. The film's respectful and detailed depiction of the Ayutthaya period set a new standard for historical authenticity in regional cinema. This approach encouraged other filmmakers to explore Southeast Asian stories with similar dedication, contributing to a growing body of work that highlights the region's rich heritage and complex history. The film's success demonstrated that culturally specific stories could find international audiences when told with passion and craftsmanship, encouraging further investment in local storytelling. Ong Bak 2 also sparked discussions about the preservation and promotion of traditional martial arts and cultural practices in a modernizing world. Its emphasis on spiritual discipline, respect for heritage, and the philosophical dimensions of fighting resonated with martial artists and cultural advocates who saw the film as a call to honor and sustain these traditions. This influence has contributed to efforts within Thailand and abroad to protect and teach traditional martial arts forms, rituals, and related cultural expressions. In the realm of action choreography, Ong Bak 2 inspired a wave of martial arts films that prioritized physical authenticity and practical stunt work over digital effects. Directors and choreographers in various countries adopted techniques pioneered or popularized by the film, leading to a resurgence of old-school stunt work in cinema. This trend can be seen in subsequent productions that emphasize real physical performances, longer takes, and complex choreography requiring extensive training and skill from performers. Additionally, Ong Bak 2 helped pave the way for increased international collaborations and co-productions involving Thai filmmakers. The film's success demonstrated the global appeal of Thai martial arts cinema and opened doors for cross-cultural projects that blend Eastern and Western filmmaking traditions. These collaborations have expanded opportunities for Thai talent and brought greater visibility to Southeast Asian cinema on the world stage. Finally, the film's influence extends to how martial arts heroes are portrayed. Tien's character embodies a balance of strength, honor, humility, and spiritual depth that has become a model for subsequent protagonists in martial arts cinema. This portrayal challenges stereotypical action heroes by integrating cultural and ethical dimensions, enriching the genre's characterizations and broadening audience expectations. In conclusion, the legacy and influence of Ong Bak 2 are multifaceted and enduring. The film elevated Muay Thai's international profile, revitalized martial arts choreography with a focus on authenticity, and expanded the narrative possibilities of martial arts cinema by integrating historical and spiritual themes. Its impact is evident in the careers it propelled, the cultural awareness it fostered, and the creative directions it inspired within the film industry. Through its artistry and ambition, Ong Bak 2 remains a seminal work that continues to shape the future of martial arts film and cultural representation. The audience's response to Ong Bak 2 reveals a complex and multifaceted relationship between the film and its viewers, shaped by cultural context, personal expectations, and generational perspectives. The film resonated deeply with many, inspiring admiration for its artistry and themes while also provoking debate and varied interpretations. Understanding how different audiences reflected on and interpreted Ong Bak 2 provides valuable insight into its cultural significance and lasting impact. For Thai audiences, Ong Bak 2 carried a profound cultural and emotional weight. Many viewers saw the film as a proud representation of Thai history, martial arts, and spirituality. The meticulous attention to detail in costume, set design, and cultural rituals fostered a strong sense of national identity and heritage. The depiction of the Ayutthaya period, a formative era in Thai history, evoked feelings of nostalgia, pride, and reflection on the country's past struggles and triumphs. The themes of honor, loyalty, and redemption resonated deeply as they align closely with traditional Thai values. Tien's journey was often interpreted as symbolic of the resilience and spirit of the Thai people, offering both entertainment and cultural affirmation. International audiences brought different perspectives that influenced their reflection on the film. For many martial arts enthusiasts, Ong Bak 2 was celebrated as a master class in fight choreography and physical performance. The authenticity and intensity of the combat sequences inspired admiration and respect, elevating the film to a near-mythical status within the genre. These viewers often focused on the technical brilliance of the martial arts, appreciating the discipline and skill on display. For them, Tien's character embodied the ideal martial artist. Dedicated, humble, and fiercely determined. However, the film's historical and cultural themes were sometimes less accessible to international viewers unfamiliar with Thai history and spirituality. This occasionally led to divergent interpretations or a focus primarily on the action elements. Some international audiences perceived the more complex narrative and slower pacing as challenging, which affected their overall reception. Despite this, many expressed curiosity and interest in learning more about the cultural context, using the film as a gateway to explore Thai traditions, history, and martial arts more deeply. Generational differences also played a role in audience reflections. Younger viewers, especially those attracted by the adrenaline-fueled action, often emphasized the excitement and spectacle of the fight scenes. They admired Tony Jaa's physical feats and the film's dynamic choreography, sometimes at the expense of engaging fully with the historical and spiritual subtexts. For these viewers, Ong Bak 2 functioned as a thrilling entertainment experience that introduced them to Muay Thai and Southeast Asian culture in a fresh and exciting way. Older or more culturally informed viewers tended to engage more deeply with the film's themes and symbolism. They appreciated the film's exploration of identity, honor, and spiritual discipline, recognizing its homage to Thai heritage and martial philosophy. These viewers often reflected on the film as a narrative about personal growth, ethical conduct, and the tension between tradition and modernity. They interpreted Tien's journey not only as a physical quest, but as a metaphor for spiritual awakening and cultural preservation. The film's emotional impact on audiences was significant. Many viewers described feeling a strong connection to Tien's struggles, empathizing with his losses, perseverance, and ultimate triumph. The portrayal of family bonds, betrayal, and redemption touched universal human experiences, allowing the story to transcend cultural boundaries. This emotional resonance helped the film maintain relevance over time and contributed to its status as a beloved martial arts classic. Discussions and interpretations among fans frequently explored the moral and philosophical questions raised by the film. Topics such as the ethics of vengeance, the nature of true strength, and the balance between aggression and compassion were common points of reflection. These conversations extended beyond casual viewing, fostering deeper engagement with the film's messages and their application to personal and societal values. The film's portrayal of traditional martial arts as a path to spiritual and ethical development also inspired many viewers to reconsider their understanding of martial arts beyond physical combat. Audiences reflected on the discipline, respect, and mental focus depicted in Ong Bak 2, often expressing renewed appreciation for martial arts as a holistic practice. This perspective contributed to a broader cultural dialogue about the role of tradition and spirituality in contemporary life. In the realm of popular culture, Ong Bak 2 inspired fan creations, discussions, and online communities that further extended audience interpretation. Fans produced analyses, fan art, and commentary that explored the film's themes, characters, and choreography in detail. These communities fostered shared interpretations and collective reflections, amplifying the film's impact and sustaining its relevance in the digital age. Critically, some audiences engaged with the film's narrative structure and pacing, offering reflections on how these elements shaped their viewing experience. While many appreciated the depth and ambition of the story, others found the slower, more episodic storytelling challenging. This split in audience reflection highlights the diversity of expectations and preferences among viewers, underscoring the film's complexity and layered nature. Ultimately, the diverse reflections and interpretations of Ong Bak 2 illustrate its multifaceted appeal and significance. The film succeeded in engaging audiences on multiple levels. Viscerally through its action, emotionally through its character arcs, and intellectually through its cultural and spiritual themes. This richness of experience ensures that the film continues to provoke thought, discussion, and admiration years after its release. In summary, Ong Bak 2 elicited a wide range of responses from its audiences shaped by cultural backgrounds, generational perspectives, and personal interests. Its impact went beyond entertainment to foster cultural pride, inspire martial arts appreciation, and provoke meaningful reflection on themes of identity, honor, and redemption. The film's ability to resonate with such a diverse audience speaks to its enduring power as both a cinematic work and a cultural artifact. The character development and arcs in Ong Bak 2 are central to its narrative depth and emotional resonance, elevating the film beyond a mere showcase of martial arts prowess. The story revolves primarily around Tien, whose journey from a displaced noble youth to a skilled warrior embodies the film's exploration of identity, honor, and redemption. Alongside Tien, other key characters contribute to the intricate web of motivations, conflicts, and relationships that drive the plot forward. Tien's character arc is the film's emotional core. At the beginning, he is portrayed as a young prince who has been stripped of his royal status and forced into exile following the betrayal and murder of his family. This traumatic event sets Tien on a path of transformation, marked by intense physical and spiritual training aimed at reclaiming his identity and exacting justice. Tien's development is marked by his evolution from a somewhat naive and impulsive youth to a disciplined and thoughtful warrior who understands the true meaning of strength and honor. Throughout the film, Tien's motivations are deeply personal, yet also tied to larger themes of justice and societal restoration. His quest to avenge his family and restore order to the kingdom reflects his growing sense of responsibility and moral clarity. This transition is portrayed through his interactions with mentors and allies who challenge him to balance vengeance with compassion and to use his skills not merely for personal gain but for the greater good. Ting's internal conflict between anger and restraint, pride and humility, is a recurring element that adds complexity to his character. Ting's relationships also play a crucial role in his development. His bond with his mentors, particularly the wise and spiritual figures who guide his training, represents the transmission of cultural values and martial discipline. These relationships highlight themes of respect, loyalty, and the importance of learning from tradition. Ting's connection with his family, though tragically severed early in the film, continues to influence his actions and emotional state, fueling his determination and underscoring the film's emphasis on kinship and legacy. In contrast to Ting's honorable and evolving character, the antagonists embody corruption, betrayal, and the abuse of power. Lord Rajayana, the principal villain, is portrayed as a ruthless and manipulative figure whose ambition drives much of the conflict. His character serves as a foil to Ting, representing the antithesis of the virtues that Ting strives to embody. Rajasana's motivations are primarily selfish and political, and his actions reflect a broader critique of oppressive leadership and moral decay within the ruling class. Rajasana's character arc, while less nuanced than Ting, is important for establishing the stakes of the story, and the nature of the antagonistic forces Ting must overcome. His willingness to exploit violence, deception, and cruelty contrasts sharply with Ting's disciplined approach to combat injustice. This opposition frames the central conflict as not only physical but also ideological, pitting the forces of corruption against those of honor and righteousness. Supporting characters such as Lady Wan and other allies also contribute to the narrative and thematic complexity. Lady Wan, who initially appears as a complex figure with ambiguous loyalties, experiences her own arc of redemption and transformation. Her relationship with Ting evolves from distrust and conflict to mutual respect and alliance, reflecting the film's themes of forgiveness, trust, and cooperation. Lady Wan's character adds emotional depth and provides a counterbalance to the male-dominated world of combat, highlighting the importance of alliance and support. Other minor characters, including Ting's fellow warriors and villagers, serve to illustrate the broader societal impact of the conflict and the collective struggle against tyranny. These characters, while less developed individually, contribute to the sense of community and shared purpose that underpin the narrative. Their presence emphasizes that Ting's journey is not solitary, but part of a larger effort to restore justice and harmony. The film also explores the psychological and emotional growth of Ting. His experiences of loss, betrayal, and hardship shape his worldview and inform his decisions. Moments of introspection and spiritual reflection reveal a character who is not only physically formidable, but also intellectually and emotionally evolving. Ting's mastery of martial arts is portrayed as inseparable from his personal growth, with discipline and self-control emerging as key components of his strength. The progression of Ting's character is mirrored in the film's visual and narrative structure. Early scenes depict him as vulnerable and inexperienced, often framed in wide shots that emphasize his youth and isolation. As the story unfolds, tighter framing and dynamic camera work capture his growing confidence and skill. The choreography of his fight scenes also reflects this evolution, moving from defensive and tentative to aggressive and assured. This alignment of character development with visual storytelling enhances the audience's engagement and emotional investment. Ting's arc culminates in the film's climactic battle, where he confronts his enemies not only with physical prowess, but with the wisdom and restraint he has gained. This confrontation serves as both a literal and symbolic resolution of his journey, demonstrating the integration of body, mind, and spirit that defines the film's portrayal of true martial arts mastery. The climax also reinforces the theme of redemption, as Ting's victory represents the restoration of moral order and personal healing. In addition to Ting, the film's exploration of antagonist and secondary character arcs provides a rich tapestry of motivations and conflicts that enrich the story. The interplay between characters highlights the complexities of loyalty, betrayal, and the struggle for power. These dynamics contribute to the film's emotional weight and narrative depth, moving it beyond a simple action story into a more sophisticated drama. In conclusion, the character development and arcs in Ong Bak 2 are thoughtfully crafted to support the film's themes and engage the audience emotionally. Ting's journey from displaced prince to enlightened warrior embodies universal themes of growth, honor, and redemption. While the supporting characters and antagonists provide meaningful contrasts and challenges through their interactions, conflicts, and transformations, the film creates a compelling narrative that resonates beyond its martial arts spectacle, offering a nuanced portrayal of human resilience and the quest for justice. Costume and set design in Ong Bak 2 are fundamental in establishing the film's rich historical setting, reinforcing character identities, and enhancing the overall mood and tone of the narrative through meticulous attention to period accuracy, material authenticity, and symbolic detail. The costumes and environments help transport the audience to the Ayutthaya period of Thailand, providing not just a backdrop, but an active storytelling element that deepens immersion and cultural resonance. The costumes in Ong Bak too are crafted with a dedication to historical realism while also serving to express character traits, social status, and thematic contrasts. The film's wardrobe department conducted extensive research into traditional Thai clothing from the Ayutthaya era, ensuring that fabrics, styles, and accessories reflected the time period with accuracy. This research manifested in costumes that feature intricate patterns, authentic textiles, and period-appropriate tailoring, all of which contribute to the authenticity and visual richness of the film. Tien's costumes evolve significantly throughout the film, visually charting his journey from noble youth to trained warrior. Early in the story, his clothing is more regal and refined with garments made from fine silks and adorned with subtle but elegant embroidery, signaling his royal heritage and social standing. These costumes often feature traditional elements such as wraparound cloths, sashes, and ornamental belts that reinforce his status. As Tien undergoes training and hardship, his attire becomes more practical and rugged, reflecting his physical transformation and the stripping away of his former identity. The gradual shift to simpler earth-toned garments symbolizes his growing humility, discipline, and connection to the natural world. The antagonist's costumes contrast sharply with those of Tien and his allies, using darker colors, heavier fabrics, and more ostentatious designs to emphasize their corruption and moral decay. Lord Raja, in particular, is often seen wearing elaborate robes with rich textures and bold patterns that convey his power, arrogance, and detachment from the common people. These costumes employ metallic accents and sharp silhouettes that evoke intimidation and dominance, visually reinforcing his role as the primary antagonist. The stark contrast between his wardrobe and Tien's underscores the thematic conflict between corruption and virtue. Supporting characters are also distinguished through carefully designed costumes that communicate their roles and personalities. For instance, Lady Wan's attire combines elements of strength and femininity, blending traditional Thai dresses with warrior-like embellishments, symbolizing her complex character and evolving allegiance. Her costumes often feature layered fabrics and intricate details that reflect both vulnerability and resilience, highlighting her importance within the narrative. Makeup and hairstyles are integral to the costume design, helping to create authentic and distinctive appearances for each character. Traditional Thai hairstyles, including top knots, braided arrangements, and ornamental headpieces, are faithfully recreated to reflect the social status and cultural customs of the era. The makeup emphasizes natural tones, with some characters sporting battle scars, dirt, and sweat that enhance realism and convey the physical toll of their journeys. These details contribute to the believability of the characters and the immersive quality of the film. Set design in Ong Bak 2 is equally meticulous and expansive, providing a tangible sense of place that anchors the story in a specific historical and cultural milieu. The production team constructed detailed replicas of Ayutthaya architecture, including temples, palaces, and villages, drawing on historical records and archaeological research to ensure authenticity. These sets feature traditional woodwork, stone carvings, and period-accurate decorations that create an immersive environment reflective of the time. The temple sets are particularly notable for their grandeur and intricacy. The elaborate carvings, towering columns, and ornate altars serve as a physical manifestation of the film's spiritual and cultural themes. Scenes set in these temples convey a solemn and sacred atmosphere where rituals and training take on profound significance. The use of natural lighting and shadows within these spaces enhances their mysterious and reverential quality, emphasizing the connection between the characters' martial discipline and spiritual growth. Village and rural settings in the film provide a contrasting atmosphere depicted with rustic charm and authenticity. The production design incorporates traditional Thai houses with thatched roofs, wooden beams, and open-air structures surrounded by lush greenery and water features. These environments convey a sense of community, simplicity, and harmony with nature. The attention to detail extends to props such as handmade tools, pottery, and textiles, which enrich the realism and cultural texture of these scenes. Battle scenes often take place within meticulously crafted sets that incorporate elements of natural terrain and constructed environments. The design of these sets considers the practical needs of stunt performers and choreographers, providing spaces that allow for dynamic fight sequences while maintaining historical accuracy. For example, courtyards, temple grounds, and market squares are designed with authenticity, but adapted to facilitate fluid camera movement and safe stunt execution. Lighting design within the sets is carefully coordinated with the costume and production design to create mood and highlight narrative moments. Bright, warm lighting in outdoor scenes conveys vitality and hope, while dimmer, shadowed interiors evoke tension, danger, or spiritual contemplation. This interplay between light and shadow within the carefully constructed sets adds depth to the visual storytelling and enhances the emotional impact of key scenes. Color palettes in the set design work in harmony with costumes to reinforce thematic contrasts. Natural earth tones dominate rural and temple environments, creating a grounded and organic feel. In contrast, scenes involving the royal court or antagonists feature richer, more saturated colors such as deep reds, golds, and blacks, emphasizing power, decadence, and corruption. This color coding aids the audience's understanding of social hierarchies and moral alignments within the story. The film's set design also incorporates symbolic architectural elements that reinforce its themes. Circular courtyards and repetitive motifs echo the cyclical nature of fate and karma, central ideas within the narrative. The use of water features, rivers, ponds, and waterfalls, symbolizes purification, change, and the flow of life. These elements create a layered visual language that complements the film's spiritual and philosophical undertones. The practical effects used in many set pieces further enhance the realism and immersive quality. Destruction scenes involving temples or buildings collapsing are achieved through carefully controlled physical effects, adding tangible weight and danger to the action. These effects underscore the stakes of the conflict and the physical and moral destruction wrought by the antagonists. In summary, the costume and set design of Ong Bak 2 are integral to the film's ability to authentically portray its historical setting and enrich its narrative themes. The dialogue and script writing in Ong Bak 2 play a nuanced role in supporting the film's narrative, character development, and thematic exploration. While the film's primary draw lies in its stunning martial arts choreography and visual storytelling, the screenplay serves as a vital framework that grounds the action in emotional and cultural context. The script balances moments of exposition, character interaction, and philosophical reflection, all while maintaining the pacing necessary for a martial arts epic. One notable aspect of the script is its economical use of dialogue during action sequences. Unlike many films that rely heavily on verbal exchanges to explain motivations or plot points, Ong Bak 2 often opts for visual storytelling and physical performance to convey character emotions and narrative developments. This approach allows the martial arts choreography and cinematography to take center stage, with dialogue serving as a supporting element rather than dominating the scenes. The restrained use of words during fights preserves the intensity and realism of combat, emphasizing physical expression over verbal explanation. However, outside of the action, the screenplay offers moments of thoughtful dialogue that reveal character motivations, cultural values, and philosophical themes. Conversations between Tien and his mentors are particularly significant, providing insight into the spiritual and ethical dimensions of martial arts training. These exchanges explore concepts such as discipline, humility, and the true nature of strength, enriching the film's thematic depth. The script uses these dialogues to frame Tien's journey not just as a physical quest, but as a path of personal and spiritual growth. The dialogue also reflects traditional Thai cultural values with frequent references to honor, respect, loyalty, and karmic justice. These themes are woven into the characters' speech patterns and interactions, reinforcing the film's cultural authenticity. Characters often speak with a formality and reverence appropriate to the historical setting, which helps immerse the audience in the period and highlights the social hierarchies and customs of the time. Memorable lines in the film often come from moments of reflection or confrontation, where characters articulate their beliefs or challenge each other's motivations. These lines are crafted to be impactful without becoming overly verbose or didactic. For example, Tien's mentors frequently offer aphorisms or teachings that resonate beyond the immediate context, serving as moral guideposts for the audience. Similarly, antagonists deliver terror and threatening statements that underscore their ruthless nature and the stakes of the conflict. The script also incorporates moments of tension and emotional conflict through dialogue, particularly in scenes involving betrayal, loss, and reconciliation. These exchanges provide a humanizing counterpoint to the film's physical intensity, allowing viewers to connect with the characters on a deeper emotional level. The gradual revelation of past traumas and shifting alliances is communicated through carefully paced conversations, which builds suspense and empathy. In terms of style, the screenplay blends formal and poetic language with more straightforward and pragmatic speech, reflecting the varied social classes and personalities within the story. Royal and noble characters tend to use elevated language that emphasizes their status, while commoners and warriors speak more plainly, highlighting social distinctions. This variation adds texture and realism to the dialogue, making the film's world feel lived in and believable. Humor is sparingly used in the script, primarily through subtle character interactions or moments of lightness during training scenes. These brief instances of levity provide relief from the film's otherwise serious tone and help humanize the characters. The humor is never forced or distracting, but integrated naturally into the flow of the story, maintaining the overall narrative coherence. Exposition is handled with care to avoid overwhelming the viewer with historical or political information. The script uses conversations and visual cues to convey necessary background details, ensuring that the audience remains engaged without feeling lost. This balance helps maintain pacing and avoids bogging down the narrative in lengthy explanations. The pacing of conversations in Ong Bak 2 is deliberate, often allowing pauses and silences that give weight to the spoken words and create dramatic tension. These moments enable the audience to absorb the significance of dialogue and anticipate upcoming developments. The interplay between speech and silence mirrors the film's overall rhythm, which oscillates between quiet contemplation and explosive action. The screenplay also excels in building tension through dialogue-driven scenes that precede major conflicts. Strategic use of verbal confrontations and exchanges of threats heightens anticipation and emotional stakes, making the subsequent physical battles more meaningful. This narrative technique ensures that fights are not isolated spectacles, but are integrated into the story's emotional and thematic fabric. While the dialogue is generally clear and purposeful, some critiques have noted occasional stiffness or lack of naturalism in certain exchanges, particularly in translations or subtitles for international audiences. These moments do not significantly detract from the overall experience, but reflect the challenges of adapting culturally specific language and expressions for a global viewership. In summary, the dialogue and script writing of Ong Bak 2 provide essential support to the film's visual and physical storytelling. The screenplay balances exposition, character development, and thematic exploration through carefully crafted conversations that reflect cultural values and philosophical ideas. By using dialogue sparingly during action and emphasizing visual narrative, the film maintains a dynamic pace while offering moments of reflection and emotional depth. This careful scripting enhances the viewer's engagement and enriches the film's portrayal of martial arts as both a physical and spiritual discipline. The marketing and promotion strategy for Ong Bak 2 was both extensive and multifaceted, aiming to capitalize on the success of the original Bak while also positioning the sequel as a grander, more ambitious cinematic experience. The campaign sought to reach both existing fans of the franchise and new international audiences interested in martial arts and historical epics through a combination of traditional advertising, innovative promotional tactics, and strategic partnerships. The film's marketing played a critical role in building anticipation and establishing its global presence. One of the central elements of the promotional campaign was the use of visually striking trailers and teasers that highlighted the film's unique blend of authentic martial arts, historical drama, and spectacular action sequences. These trailers emphasize the impressive physicality of Tony Jaa and his stunt team, showcasing intense fight scenes and acrobatic feats to captivate audiences. Unlike many martial arts trailers that focus solely on action, Ong Bak 2's promotional videos also included glimpses of the film's lavish period settings and elaborate costumes, signaling its departure from a modern-day story to a historical epic. This strategic choice helped attract a wider audience interested in both action and culturally rich narratives. Posters and print advertisements played a significant role in marketing efforts, often featuring iconic images of Tony Jaa in combat poses or moments of dramatic intensity. The visual design of these materials employed earthy and muted color palettes consistent with the film's historical setting, reinforcing the tone and aesthetic. Taglines emphasized themes of honor, revenge, and spiritual discipline, enticing viewers with promises of an epic and emotionally resonant story. The marketing team also utilized striking images of traditional Thai weaponry and temple architecture to evoke curiosity and highlight the cultural authenticity of the film. International marketing strategies were tailored to different regions, reflecting the film's broad appeal and the varying interests of global audiences. In Asia, where the Ong Bak franchise had an established fan base, promotional campaigns leveraged Tony Jaa's star power through appearances on talk shows, martial arts events, and fan conventions. These efforts helped maintain and expand enthusiasm for the sequel. In Western markets, where martial arts films had a growing but more niche audience, distributors emphasized the film's status as a unique and authentic martial arts spectacle, often drawing comparisons to classic Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan movies to attract genre enthusiasts. The film's marketing also embraced emerging digital platforms and social media to engage younger audiences and create viral buzz. Official websites, online trailers, and interactive content allowed fans to explore behind-the-scenes footage, learn about the training and choreography, and connect with the filmmakers. Social media campaigns encouraged user-generated content such as fan art, reviews, and discussion forums, fostering a community around the film. These digital strategies were relatively innovative at the time, contributing to Ong Bak 2's international reach and helping sustain interest beyond its theatrical release. Merchandising played a supportive but important role in the film's promotional ecosystem. Products such as action figures, apparel, and training gear bearing the Ong Bak logo and imagery were marketed to fans and martial arts practitioners. These items not only generated additional revenue, but also helped keep the film and its themes in public consciousness. The merchandising strategy was aligned with the film's emphasis on authenticity, with many products designed to appeal to martial arts enthusiasts seeking genuine training equipment and apparel inspired by the movie. Premiere events and film festival screenings were strategically utilized to generate media coverage and critical buzz. Red carpet premieres in Thailand and select international cities attracted press and celebrities, creating a sense of occasion around the film's release. At film festivals, Ong Bak 2 was presented as a showcase of Thai cinematic artistry and martial arts excellence, elevating its profile among industry professionals and cinephiles. These events provided opportunities for interviews, panel discussions, and demonstrations that deepened public engagement. In terms of advertising, television spots and cinema trailers were widely deployed in target markets. These advertisements were crafted to maximize impact, often focusing on the most visually arresting sequences to capture attention quickly. Radio spots and print ads in magazines dedicated to film, martial arts, and Asian culture further supported the campaign, reaching niche audiences likely to be interested in the film. A unique aspect of the marketing campaign was its emphasis on the film's cultural and historical significance, differentiating Ong Bak 2 from other action films. Promotional materials frequently highlighted the film's meticulous recreation of the Ayutthaya period, traditional martial arts training methods, and spiritual themes. This positioning appealed to viewers interested in cultural heritage and authenticity, adding an educational dimension to the film's appeal. Partnerships with cultural organizations and martial arts schools helped promote the film in educational contexts and martial arts communities. The marketing campaign also benefited from Tony Jaa's rising international profile, leveraging his reputation as a genuine martial artist and stunt performer. Interviews, magazine features, and video content spotlighted Jaa's commitment to authenticity and his personal training regimen, which added credibility and allure to the film. Jaa's image as a humble yet formidable fighter was a central pillar of the promotional narrative, attracting audiences who admired genuine skill and dedication. Despite these strengths, the marketing faced challenges in balancing the film's dual identity as a martial arts spectacle and a historical drama. Some promotional materials leaned heavily on the action elements, which occasionally led to audience expectations that did not fully align with the film's more complex narrative and slower pacing. This discrepancy may have affected initial audience reception, but did not significantly diminish overall interest. In conclusion, the marketing and promotion of Ong Bak 2 were comprehensive and well executed. Combining traditional advertising, innovative digital engagement, strategic event planning, and culturally focused messaging, the campaign successfully built anticipation, and broadened the film's appeal across different markets, leveraging Tony Jaa's star power and the film's unique blend of action and cultural authenticity. These efforts contributed to the film's commercial performance and enduring presence within the martial arts cinema landscape. Ong Bak 2 stands as a distinct and ambitious entry within the martial arts film genre, offering a blend of traditional combat, historical epic storytelling, and spiritual themes that set it apart from many contemporaries. Comparing the film to similar works, earlier adaptations, and other projects by its director and lead star reveals how Ong Bak 2 carves its own niche while also engaging with established genre conventions. This comparative analysis explores differences and similarities in tone, style, narrative, and thematic focus, highlighting what makes the film unique and how it contributes to the evolution of martial arts cinema. First, when compared to its predecessor, Ong Bak, Muay Thai Warrior, Ong Bak 2 represents a significant tonal and stylistic shift. The original Ong Bak, released in 2003, is a modern-day action film that emphasizes raw, visceral Muay Thai fighting within an urban setting. Its narrative is straightforward, focusing on a young man's quest to recover a stolen Buddha statue. The film's tone is fast-paced, gritty, and grounded with an emphasis on street-level combat and kinetic energy. In contrast, Ong Bak 2 ventures into a historical period, weaving a complex story of royalty, betrayal, and spiritual awakening set during the Ayutthaya era of Thailand. The sequel incorporates more elaborate production design, detailed costumes, and ceremonial martial arts training sequences. The tone is more serious and epic with slower pacing that allows for philosophical reflection alongside physical combat. While the first film's charm lies in its street fighting immediacy and contemporary setting, Ong Bak 2 appeals through its grand scale and cultural depth. This shift has divided fans and critics, with some appreciating the sequel's ambition and thematic richness and others preferring the raw simplicity and immediacy of the original. The contrast between the two films illustrates the director's desire to explore different facets of martial arts cinema and push boundaries beyond the familiar formula of urban action. The difference in narrative scope and style also reflects Tony Jaa's growth as both a performer and filmmaker, as he seeks to blend physical prowess with storytelling artistry. Comparing Ong Bak 2 to other martial arts films of the early 2000s further illuminates its distinctive qualities. Films like Ip Man 2008 and Hero 2002 similarly combine historical settings with martial arts, but each approaches its narrative and aesthetics differently. Ip Man focuses on a biographical story of a legendary Wing Chun master during wartime China, blending personal drama with political conflict. Its tone is solemn and reverent, with an emphasis on mastery and honor. Hero presents a highly stylized, almost poetic interpretation of ancient Chinese history using vivid color palettes and symbolic imagery to explore themes of sacrifice and unity. Ong Bak 2, while sharing the historical martial arts genre, leans more heavily into realism in combat choreography and cultural authenticity. Its use of Muay Thai techniques, practical stunts, and grounded fight scenes contrasts with the often stylized and cinematic fights in Hero. Unlike Ip Man, which focuses on a relatively recent historical figure, Ong Bak 2 delves into a more mythic and less documented period, blending legend with history. This positions the film as a unique cultural artifact, celebrating Thai heritage in a way that resonates specifically with its national identity. When placed alongside other films directed by Pra Ping Kyu, who also helmed the original Ong Bak, Ong Bak 2 reflects a maturation and expansion of his cinematic vision. Ping Kyu's work is characterized by a dedication to showcasing authentic martial arts and stunt work, a trait evident in both films. However, the sequel demonstrates a willingness to experiment with narrative complexity and visual spectacle, moving beyond the straightforward revenge plot of the first film. This progression illustrates Ping Kyu's ambition to elevate Thai martial arts cinema onto a more global and artistic stage. Tony Jaa's role as both star and co-director on Ong Bak 2 also marks a notable evolution in his career. Whereas in the first film, Jaa was primarily the physical performer, the sequel allowed him greater creative control and input into the choreography, storytelling, and production design. This involvement is reflected in the film's emphasis on spiritual themes, traditional training sequences, and the integration of Muay Thai philosophy. Jaa's personal dedication to authenticity and martial arts discipline is more pronounced, distinguishing Ong Bak 2 from other action films that prioritize spectacle over substance. Comparing Ong Bak 2 to Western martial arts films or Hollywood action movies reveals stark contrasts in style and thematic focus. Hollywood productions of the time often relied heavily on CGI, fast editing, and explosive set pieces. In contrast, Ong Bak 2 emphasizes long takes, practical stunts, and detailed choreography rooted in real martial arts techniques. The film's slower pacing and spiritual undertones contrast with the often fast-paced entertainment-driven approach of Western action films. This difference highlights cultural divergences in storytelling priorities and the value placed on authenticity versus spectacle. In terms of narrative structure, Ong Bak 2 follows a classic hero's journey archetype, but integrates local cultural elements that distinguish it from more generic martial arts fare. The film's exploration of honor, karmic justice, and spiritual growth places it in dialogue with other Eastern martial arts narratives, but with a unique Thai flavor. This cultural specificity enriches the genre and broadens the scope of martial arts storytelling internationally. When compared to earlier adaptations or films inspired by traditional Muay Thai, Ong Bak 2 stands out for its scale and ambition. Previous films often depicted Muay Thai in modern contexts or as part of mixed martial arts tournaments. Ong Bak 2's historical setting and incorporation of ceremonial training rituals elevate the martial art from sport or combat technique to a cultural and spiritual practice. This portrayal has influenced later films and documentaries that seek to explore martial arts as a holistic discipline connected to identity and heritage. The film's influence can also be seen in subsequent works by Tony Jaa and other martial artists. Later films in the Ong Bak series and other projects continue to build on the foundations laid by Ong Bak 2, blending high-octane action with deeper thematic content. The film helped inspire a new generation of martial arts filmmakers to prioritize authenticity, cultural storytelling, and physical performance over digital effects. In summary, Ong Bak 2 occupies a unique place within martial arts cinema, distinguished by its historical focus, cultural specificity, and commitment to authentic combat. Its comparison to the original Ong Bak highlights a bold stylistic and narrative shift, while its relation to other martial arts films reveals both shared traditions and unique contributions. The film's blend of epic storytelling, spiritual themes, and visceral action challenges genre conventions and enriches the cinematic portrayal of martial arts. Through these qualities, Ong Bak 2 remains a significant and influential work that continues to shape the landscape of martial arts films.